Hey everyone. So I wanted to today discuss about, the fact that a lot of us, people carry shame as a response to things that they've been through. And shame is the lie that trauma whispers in our ear that we carry when somebody else has wronged us or somebody else has done something. Shame is a very natural reaction that a lot of people carry, whether they've been victims of physical abuse, sexual assault, and it's something that our bodies use to allow us to survive as individuals. And shame is such a thing that most survivors carry that stays with them throughout their lives until they learn to heal it. And shame is a coping mechanism in which we try and maintain control, in which people try and hold themselves accountable in some warped way for something that isn't their fault. Having that control makes them feel less helpless, makes them feel like they're in control of the situation and they've got it. How many of us have gone through things, traumatic events, where people that we've trusted have violated our boundaries or violated our trust? And instead of wanting to believe that or feel that, it's easier for our brains to go to the point and say that we did this, it was our fault. Perhaps I shouldn't have said this. Perhaps I shouldn't have looked that way. Perhaps I shouldn't have worn this. Perhaps I shouldn't have gone there. Perhaps I should have said something earlier. Perhaps I shouldn't have spoken that way. Focusing in that realm is so much easier than saying, you know what, I feel helpless. I feel scared. I feel hurt. Because those feelings feel like we're out of control. And when something out of control has already happened, we want to create control in our lives in every single environment. And we create that control because it makes us feel safe. But here's the thing about shame. It reaps through your body. And you don't discuss it with anyone. And when you don't discuss it with anyone, those words in your head become stronger and stronger and louder. That yes, this was my fault. That yes, I should have done this. Because there's nobody there to counteract what's going on in your head. So as that shame becomes louder and louder, it reaps through your body. And it seeps into different things. Whether that's an autoimmune disease or whether that's fibromyalgia. It sits there. Because we haven't shifted it. We haven't shaken it. It sits there in our bodies and acts like a layer. And we think it's protecting us, but it's actually harming us. It's so much negative energy that we're carrying. And if we think when we're hiding it, that we're doing a great job, maybe. But I ask you to look around in other areas of your life and tell me, where is it showing up with you as a leader? Where is it showing up with your parenting? Where is it showing up when you're driving in the car? Where is it showing up when you wake up in the morning? How do you feel? So we can pretend to shove that shame and that guilt under the rug and not discuss it and keep telling ourselves that it was our fault. Or you can make a choice to face it, because the only way through is facing it. By facing it and acknowledging the hurt, stop and acknowledge the pain. Accepting where you are and your responsibility in it. No, that doesn't mean you're to blame, but your responsibility in constantly blaming yourself and not allowing yourself to heal. Because whether you believe it or not, I promise you, it is filtering into other aspects of your life. F, forgive. Doesn't have to be now. But forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for feeling like you were to blame. Forgive yourself for the reactions that you've had that may be extraordinary, explosive, or emotional. Because what's inside here has to come out in some way. Forgive yourself and allow yourself to heal. And embrace the good and the bad. Because that is the fabric of who you are. Embrace what's happened. Doesn't mean you have to like it. Doesn't mean accept it and embrace. It's part of the fabric of who you are. Learn the lessons. And yes, I know I've oversimplified it and it takes years. I get that. But I'm asking you today to start somewhere. To give yourself that grace. To start somewhere to forgive yourself and allow yourself to heal. Because if you think that the kids aren't watching and the kids aren't picking up, you're wrong. If you think it's not filtering into your work environment, you're wrong. If you think it's not filtering into the decisions that you're making, you're wrong. And here's why you're wrong. Or I was wrong. You cannot make decisions that are whole and aligned with you when you come from a place of insecurity, when you come from a place of guilt, when you come from a place of not being enough. It's just impossible. It doesn't happen. You can't lead a fulfilled life when you're walking around empty and hollow inside. It's impossible. Most of us professionals, executives, we're too scared to admit. We're too scared to say anything. Because what if we crumble? What if someone blames us? What about the judgment? All these decades that we've worked really hard. What if someone judges us? What if I don't get that promotion? Or in my case, work so hard that you don't have to think about anything. Just keep going. Keep going, because you won't have to feel. You won't have to look at it. But here's the thing. We can choose not to look at it, but it will rise back up. In the same way that weeds choke a flower, we actually end up choking ourselves. We end up choking ourselves and saying, that we're okay. But we're not. And it seeps through our body, it seeps through our mind, it seeps through our health, it seeps through our wealth. Or for some of us, it might seep through different types of addiction. Shopping, alcohol, drugs, whatever it may be. But it's got to come out some way. And I get it. It's shit what happened. It's hard what happened. I get it. But are you going to keep looking in the mirror? Or are you going to truly heal? You're going to truly heal and allow yourselves to move forward and start doing the work. And that work can only happen when you start to admit, when you acknowledge what's going on inside and up here. That work can only happen when you give yourself the grace to do it, because nobody else can. Nobody. Don't allow the shame, which is the lie that trauma whispers in our ears, to protect the people that have committed the violation of boundaries or crimes. Don't allow that shame to imprison you. Pull yourself out of it. Admit. In admitting, you can go get the help. Therapy, spiritual work, coaching, whatever it is that works for you. But you got to admit. So don't let that shame create a wall around you that becomes harder and harder to break down. Give yourself that space and grace. Have a good night, and I'll be on in a couple days.